Hello and welcome to April 1st and the beginning of my insane video every day in April attempt. You can find more videos at hashtag SSSVEDA, which I will link up in the comments. But welcome if this is your first time watching. Hi, I'm Tara Swiger of taraswiger.com. I help makers and artists and passionate people create businesses that are sustainable, and I really help them become the experts in their own business. So even though it's April 1st, I hate April Fool's Days. I do nothing for April Fool's Day. It seems like just a mean holiday to me. So instead, we are going to celebrate the beginning of quarter 2 because it is a great time to take out your map making guide if you have it. Whether you do or not, it's a great time to set your goals for the beginning of the next quarter. And if you didn't have time to set your goals for the year at the beginning of the year, it was a great chance to go back and look at what you want to do this year. And if you did do some beginning of the year planning in January, let's take a look at what you've done so far this year. So that's what we're going to talk about today, setting goals for the beginning of the new quarter and why goals aren't everything. As much as I talk about setting goals, it's definitely not everything, and reaching your goals isn't the entire focus of a happy life. So we're going to talk about that. But first, let's talk about like the quarter planning. So my book, Map Your Business, helps you first get really clear about where you are in your business or your life, and then what you learned in the last year. And that year can be a calendar year, or it can just be in the last 12 months or the last 18 months. And then what do you want to do in the coming 12 months or so? Or what do you want to do in the next 3 quarters of 2017? Where do you want to go? Like a big picture, because what are you working towards? Even bigger picture in your life and your business. And then you make a map for the quarter. And all a map is picking a goal to go for in the next 90 days and then breaking it down into the steps so you have a pathway to get you there. And in the Map Your Business book, first you're guided through that beginning of the year stuff I talked about, and then there are place for you to write like the 3 to 5 things you want to work on in the coming year. And then there are 4 I need to get to it, 4 map making sections so that you can make a map every quarter. And by the way, none of this is dated, so if you don't have your copy yet, you can still pick it up. You can go to taraswiger.com/map to get a signed copy, or you can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iBooks. It's in all the places. It is really like a workbook for you to fill out with your own answers, and it has spaces for you to write in your answers. So you might want to get a printed copy. A lot of people said, I got the ebook and then I realized I want to actually fill it in. So I sometimes will buy an ebook and then fill it in my own journal, but if you want to fill in the workbook, you can get the book, taraswiger.com/map. Or just search Amazon for Map Your Business or my name and it comes right up. I lead my online community through the process of map making at the beginning of every quarter. So they're going to start those emails on Monday, but the 1st is a really good day to get started. So what I recommend is you look at where you want to be after 90 days, and you back up and you make sure that that's in alignment with where you want your overall business to go. So the reason why we do that beginning of the year planning is so that you make sure you're actually like going in the direction you want to go in. You're not setting just random goals that aren't related to where you want to be. So you go back, you look at your big picture, and you think, how can I break that big picture down into something that will get me closer there in the next 90 days? And I want to stress, because people always say, oh, well, I'm really busy in April, so I'm just going to not do anything this quarter because I can't even think about, maybe you have a craft show coming up, or you have a deadline, or you, like I have a couple travel things in April, so I'm not going to be able to work on like a bigger goal in my business, just getting through those travel things. But that's fine. Like, it doesn't really matter when you do this. You can do it April 1st, April 15th, you can do it June 22nd. What matters it's not the date you start, but the reason why I do it at the beginning of each quarter is because a quarter of the year, 90 days or 3 months, is a really good amount of time for you to make progress, but not so long of a time that you forget to check in on it again. So if you just set a goal at the beginning of the year and then you don't break it down and check in on it every couple months and measure not only what progress you've made, but what's actually worked towards that progress and what hasn't, it's really easy to just forget about it. And then it gets to be the end of the year and you're like, oh, I didn't make any progress towards that, or I made just a little bit at the beginning of the year and then I, whatever, got distracted, right? So a quarter is just a good chunk of time, but it can really start whenever. And then the other reason why I go with a quarter is because the calendar just reminds you, oh, it's the beginning of a new quarter. It's a time to check in. It's time to reassess how it's going. And I want to say above all, like, it doesn't really, the goal is not to definitely reach your quarter every goal, because if that's your like overarching plan for this, you're going to be disappointed, because there's no way, if you're setting good, challenging goals to move you towards a future that you don't currently exist in, there's no way that you actually know what that takes yet. So part of this process is figuring out, is what I thought true? Like, is what I thought going to help me get there actually going to help me get there? And then also, is what I planned to do, like, anywhere in alignment with what my actual life will let me do? So what most of my clients find after the first couple maps or two that they set up is A, it really helps them get clear about actions to take. B, they were wrong about what kind of actions are going to get them the results they want. So they learn from it and they change it. So in Map Your Business, there is a monthly reassessment. So you don't wait till the end of the quarter to figure out if you've got to your goal or not. Every month you look at it and you say, what was my goal? What have I done towards it? Was I right or was I wrong that would actually make a difference? And was I right or wrong that I actually had the time to do those actions? If you had decided you had to do 50 huge projects to get to this goal, and after a month you've only had the time to do a half of one, then you need to reassess and change. And that's part of successfully doing it. Like, the desired outcome isn't you've reached your goal. The desired outcome is actually you've learned what will help you reach your goal and what won't, and you've adjusted your path so that you can get there. What many of us do for a long time is just want something and don't know what it's going to take to get there, and then not pay like a regular scientific attention to what's working and what's not working. And that's what this process helps you do. So I do want to say that I've been thinking about this a lot, the idea that goals and success and achievement aren't everything. So the entire reason why I made the map making guide and I walk my community through it, and I like heartily recommend taking your big goal, breaking it down into quarterly chunks, and then figuring out the steps you need to do and then reassessing every month, is not because I think it's important that you achieve stuff. It's that I think it's important that you make things real and tangible, and then that you work towards it. And that's important not so that you get to some specific end goal, but it's important for your own sense of self, your confidence, and your motivation. Because the problem that I was seeing, and the reason I created the map making guide, is that people have vague goals. And by the way, I still see this all the time, and it even happens for myself. You want something to just be a certain way. And when I say goals, really I mean dreams. Like, you just have vague dreams. I hope this works out. I hope this makes this much money. I hope that I get in that craft show, but without taking regular dedicated action. And I don't think it's because you're unmotivated or because you're stupid or because you're lazy. I think it's because you don't know what steps to take and you haven't made it real and tangible. So that's the thing I want you to keep in mind. The overall point of your life is not to reach another goal. It's to be working towards what you care about and towards creating a life that you want. And the way to do that is to get clear on what those steps might be, try them, figure out if you're right or wrong, and then try something else. And if you continue to do that, this is what I know after years and years of working on my own business and working with goals, both business and personal, if you continue to do that, you will become confident that you're the kind of person who can do what you want to do and create the kind of life you want to create. And that is extremely powerful, not just in your business, but in your personal life, in your relationships, in your parenting, in your cooking, in your health. Realizing that you can set goals and then meet them will really help you do the next thing, whatever the next thing is. And it's funny, I was going to talk about this today because it's the beginning of the quarter, and then last night in the WWE, is that what it's called now? Yeah, the Wrestling Hall of Fame induction ceremony, Diamond Dallas Page says, when you want a goal and you have a desired outcome, you can't just think it, you need to ink it. And he was talking about his process of becoming the world champion. And by the way, I didn't watch this. My husband is a big wrestling fan, and he said this to me this morning. Diamond Dallas Page last night said, you can't just think your goals, you have to ink them. And I was like, oh, that's what I teach, right? That is exactly it. You can't just have in your mind that you want to get somewhere. You need to write it down and then make a plan for getting there. Whether you get there or not is kind of not the point, because here's the other thing. You are absolutely going to change your mind about what you want 5 million times. But by committing to something and then taking action and then being honest with yourself, I don't want this anymore, I'm not going to continue to take action towards it. All of that lets you feel like you are doing something and not just hoping that your life changes or hoping that you get to that goal. So ink your goals. Not just me, but also Diamond Dallas Page says ink your goals. And if you need a workbook to ink your goals in, like you're like, I don't know how to pick a goal, I don't know where I want to go, what even is this all about? My book, Map Your Business, will help you do that. You can find it at tarasweiger.com/map. If you want a signed copy, I'll send it to you. Otherwise, you can find it on Amazon and all of the places. Yeah, but I hope that you take some time this weekend or next week to really think through what your goals are, the steps you're going to take to get there over the quarter, and then regular reassess each month. I will be sharing throughout this month what I'm working on. It's funny, I haven't set my own goals for the quarter because I got a lot of things up in the air I'll share more about in upcoming videos. Now let's talk about this video every day thing in April, okay? By the way, you can leave comments with any of your questions, and your questions and your comments are going to help me make videos for the next month. A new video every day, holy cow. So here's the deal. Amy Schmittauer, who wrote the book Vlog Like a Boss, which I actually have, but I just put it in a package and sealed it up to send it to a friend. She does this every April. It's a big challenge. If you click the hashtag in my comments, you'll see everybody else's videos. In my own little circle of friends and students, Cece of Geeky Girls Knit and Jolie of Jolie Creates are both participating. I'll link them up below. I am going to be doing a video every day. I hope to do it on Instagram live so that we can actually chat while I'm doing it. I can actually answer your questions in real time. I think that would be really fun. The other kinds of videos I'll be doing are like behind the scenes vlog style, like Jay right now is painting our room. I'll show you an update on that. My dog's being cute. I'm probably going to Charleston one weekend with my mom, which is beautiful. And I'm also teaching at a 2-day event for yarn shop owners in Asheville, also beautiful. I'll show you behind the scenes of that. And we are going through the process of buying the comic book shop. We might have bank meetings this month. If everything goes as planned, we will maybe even be closing on the comic book shop this month. So I'll be showing you all of that as we go through it. To make sure you don't miss any of the videos, I need you to subscribe. And actually, that's what I was gonna say. I wanna do YouTube live for most of the videos so we can chat, but YouTube won't let me do that from my phone until I have 1,000 subscribers. So even if you never use YouTube subscribe and you have all your notifications turned off, if you click the subscribe button, that will actually help me be able to do the live from my phone. Otherwise, I can do it from my computer, but I don't have my computer with me all the time. And on a Saturday day like this, I'm not getting out my computer. We'll talk about that in upcoming videos. I have rules around when I work and when I don't work. But if you have any questions, you have any videos you want me to cover, you have any topic you think I should do, leave the comments below. I would love to hear. And I'm going to give first crack to my patrons. I'll link up my Patreon below, but whatever my patrons tell me to do a video on this month, I will do, because I love you guys and I appreciate your ongoing support. I think that's it. Have a really great day. Bye.